Hi there, Miranda Alt here with Keller Williams Success Real Estate and the Miranda Alt team with your Monday market update for Monday, July 15th, 2024. Thanks so much for watching. Let's take a quick look at our Montgomery County numbers before we dive into what is happening in our real estate market. So for the last 7 days, we've had 250 new listings in Montgomery County. Now, I'm going to give you a little sidebar note on that. Of those 250 new listings, because I haven't seen that number that high in a couple of years, probably for a 7-day period. I mean, those are 2021 and 2022 numbers. Those are not 2023 or 2024 numbers. So when I saw 250 new listings, I thought, what in the heck? That would be crazy if we actually have that. Well, there were 50 new listings out in Huntley of a new subdivision called Henning Estates. They are ranch-style homes, custom homes that are not built yet. They just were listed on the MLS. So those new listings are throwing off our numbers. There's also a number of homes that are already under contract and are closed. And so they were on the private network, sold on the private network, and just have closed. So the 250 initially sounds like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden we have all this great new inventory. And we do have new inventory. There are new homes coming to market, but we don't have as many new homes built, ready to move in as it appears by these numbers. So let's move on. We had 139 go under contract, 126 closed sales, 36 price changes, and currently 44 on the private market and only 1 expired. So if you look at the headlines from this week, you'll see a lot talking about inventory and inflation. Some of them, like the New York Post, had a headline today that read, massive housing bubble about to burst in U.S. region. Now, you have to be careful anytime you see headlines. You always have to read further and like, what the heck are they talking about? Of course, I saw that and thought, bubble? Who's in a bubble? Who's in a housing bubble? Now, what they're referring to is that in some of the southern states, and we've talked about this, they were able to build more homes more rapidly, and some people fled to those areas and now have to return to the north or other regions where they moved from during COVID when they were able to work remote, and now people are having to return to their offices, so there's not as much demand in some of those areas. So some of those areas, like Austin, Texas, for example, has a surplus of homes available right now, so some of their prices are coming down. We saw about a 3% year-over-year decrease in prices in Austin. So yes, there are some of those southern states. I know Florida is dealing with some of this, Texas, where they have homes that are listed that are not selling and they're having to do price reductions. So when you're reading headlines like that, keep in mind that real estate is very, very hyper local. So here in Montgomery County, we are not seeing that influx of inventory, even though, like I just said, we did see a huge number of new listings hit the market this last 7 days. Those are not homes that people can actually move into. Those are plots of land that don't even have a shovel in the ground. So those are probably a minimum of 6 months out, maybe faster if the custom home builders can get them built quickly. But I believe those 50 new ones that were listed this last 7 days, those actually have to have a buyer that commits to buy that lot and then we'll build it. So I don't know when those homes will be done. They're not going to be built as spec homes or custom homes that have to be bought first. So some of these numbers are a little bit deceiving. Some of these headlines are a little bit deceiving. You have to stay focused on the local industry. So here locally in McHenry County, we still have home prices up 9.4%. Now this is for all of McHenry County. To $350,000 is the average for both detached and attached homes. That is the average sales price. For detached homes, it's $376,000 is the average sales price, and $250,000 is the average sales price for an attached home. So we still have strong prices here. We also have market time is down 14% to 36 days. So homes are still selling very rapidly. 36 days is actually very, very short. In a fair and balanced market like previous to COVID, we saw average market time of about 120 days was more normal. So 36 is really fast. And remember, that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Inventory for the county is up 7% to 1.5 months inventory. So up 7% to 1.5 months. Remember, a fair and balanced market is still 4 to 6 months inventory. We're nowhere near that. We're still very, very much so in a seller's market, and we still have homes selling very rapidly. We, on the Miranda alt team, had 2 homes hit the market last week. Both of those are already under contract. They came to market on both Thursday and Friday, both already sold. So it's moving very rapidly still. Inventory is up 35% nationwide. So again, careful with those headlines. That includes those southern states that have more inventory than they've had in a long time. Now that national number is the most we've had in 4 years. So it is a positive report in that we are getting more inventory nationwide. It's just that around here, we're still seeing it very tight inventory, and homes are still moving very quickly, and we are still seeing multiple offers, and we are seeing homes selling above their list price. So, you know, when you're reading these headlines or when you're listening to the news, please try to keep some of these things in mind. Now, I do think there is a lot more to choose from now than there was even just a few months ago in April. So we are seeing more homes sit on the market a few extra days. I would say that it's not moving quite so rapidly. This is also kind of a weird time of year for our real estate market. We do have a lot of people traveling. We have sports going on, you know, kids sports, and lots of activities happening. So some weekends are busier than others when it comes to showings and open houses and stuff. And like I said last week, you know, July 11th, we see a peak, and then there's a steady, not aggressive, but a decline that we start to see in the number of showings between now and the end of the year. Again, not a drastic one, but we start to see a steady decline from now until the end of the year. So if you're thinking of getting your home on the market, you know, you definitely do not count out the last 2 quarters. I think this year is going to be different from other years. We are expecting a rate cut. A lot of people are talking about seeing a rate cut within the next couple of months. So we are seeing some people holding back, waiting for that rate cut. But something I'll tell you, if you wait for that rate cut, you have to keep in mind how many other people are also waiting for that rate cut. And Susan Cochran has been saying all along that when rates do come down, those prices are going to go up. We've had an affordability problem in this country that has never been seen before, where rents have gone up 18% year over year. We have people struggling to pay their rent. People are struggling to pay for these new homes and what they're costing, and it's a real problem. So when rates do come down, we will see people flock to the market, and we will see those prices go up yet again. So if you're thinking about selling this year, I think it's going to be a really strong 3rd and 4th quarter. So I talked to somebody on Friday. They said, oh, you know, we're thinking about waiting until next year because we're not going to be ready until about October of this year, and we don't want to sell in the winter. So we're going to wait till next spring. And I said, I don't think you have to. I think you can take advantage of October, November. With the election, we could see the interest rates come down for that. Who knows? But if that happens, we could see a really strong 3rd and 4th quarter. So stay tuned for more information as we get it. I'm Miranda 𝗨𝗱𝘆.